This is what their fans want. Yeah, they just want to listen to an hour of just us on them and on the show.
It is weird. This is what,
this is what podcasting's become.
This is like Brett and Schaub's Reddit.
Yeah.
Just shit on him, you know?
The Two Bears One Cave summer break is complete, with Chrissy D and Stavy posting their final guest episode after 6 weeks of carrying the show in Tom and Bert's absence. When they first announced the guest host plan, most of us assumed it'd be a few filler episodes just to keep the ad reads going for Tom to cover his car payments while he was off chasing his Hollywood dreams. But instead we got a full 6-week arc of Chrissy and Stavy slowly realizing that not only were they doing the heavy lifting, but the audience actually preferred it that way. This was by far the biggest revelation over the 6 weeks. Seeing the two of them slowly realizing just how much hate there was for Tom and Bert and how starved of real entertainment the YMH fanbase is made me realize just how much of a bubble most of these comedians are living in. And by the end, it wasn't even subtle. They openly joked that the only reason they were brought back for a 6th episode was because Tom and Bert just didn't want to do it. And even though the whole thing was supposed to be temporary, you could tell Chrissy and Stavy knew they were killing it. They know the audience likes them more, and they even started talking more shit about Tom and Bert. Stick around because I'll show you exactly what I mean later on in the video when they call Bert and how he manages somehow to bomb over the phone. He fumbles this fucking weird bit about which products comedians should really be selling. He sucks all the energy out of the room and then he hangs up. But then Chrissy and Stavy immediately roast him for being a predictable narcissist and how he doesn't understand comedy anymore. Towards the end, I'll show you the moment when Mark Normand and Sam Morrell joined the pile-on of Tom and Bert, and if you've been following my forensic coverage of the show over the past few weeks, this has been the trend. If you recall, after the first guest episode when they asked us what we wanted to see more of over the summer, I posted a video asking them to spend more time roasting Tom and Bert. And boy did they deliver.
I thought about this actually because a lot of our dynamic is me needling you to tell embarrassing stories.
Yes.
And that kind of is Tom and Bert.
That is Tom and Bert.
Tom kind of sits back and goes, oh, tell me about that horrifying thing that your family is going to be pissed about you revealing.
Yes.
That's kind of what I do to you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm fat.
Yeah, open up your comedy special talking about your daughter's period. By the way, you do look nice in that purple shirt, which is probably the same color as Bert's liver.
What's the royal color?
I think
he doesn't have a diseased liver, he has a royal liver.
That's true.
You know, look at it that way.
Like I said, this final episode was when it really started to click for them. They finally realized what we've been saying this whole time. Chrissy starts talking about people stopping him in the street to say thank you for taking over Two Bears, and Stavy straight up admits he doesn't get it. He can't understand why people are responding so positively to their takeover of the show, and I mean fuck. That kinda says it all, right? Tom and Bert's friends really never realized how far and deep the hate goes. It's that moment where the guest hosts accidentally say what the audience has been thinking for years. This show hasn't been good for a long time, and nobody on the inside seemed to realize it until now. Next to Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen, Tom and Bert are some of the laziest, greediest, low-effort podcasters there are. But just before I show you the moment the penny finally dropped, I want to give a shout out to all of you who have gone over to my new channel More Cringe and subscribed. It's only fresh with a few videos, but if you want to see more cringe outside of the usual suspects I cover on this channel, head over there and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the extra content I've been posting. Also, don't forget to check out the link in the description to my Patreon for my latest coverage of the Missing Kill Tony London show and their second Netflix show. Kill Tony is currently going through a massive identity crisis, so make sure you don't miss out on all my coverage of their downfall. Anyway, let's get back to Chrissy and Stavy having a Schultz epiphany about how far gone Two Bears One Cave is.
This is our final.
I actually can't believe it's 6 weeks, dude.
This is the 6 weeks. We were only supposed to be signed on for 5. They let us go to 6 because Tom and Bert just don't want to do it anymore.
No. I mean, we think this is our last one. If they make us a big enough offer, we'll come back again. But listen, we know we got the bargaining power now.
Yeah.
I thought, honestly, I had no idea what to expect. I was like, oh, Chris, it'll be fun. I love doing pods with Chris. Because, like, I'm trying to conceive of a world where you step into someone's podcast and everyone's not pissed off.
Right.
Right? Like, to me, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. They listen for you guys. I have been shocked at how much people love this episode. Our episodes.
People have been stopping me in the street and be like, "Thank you for taking over Two Bears."
It almost feels like someone is making them listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand. I have to go back and watch. I guess the show sucks. I always have fun when I do it. I didn't realize people hate it, but this has been great for me.
Watching Stavy process in real time what hate watching actually looks like was like watching a kid being told that Santa Claus isn't real. Wait, what? He's sitting there mid-convo trying to understand why people are coming up to them and saying how much they love the Summer Bears episodes, and then out loud he just blurts it out. It almost feels like someone is making them listen to this podcast. That was the exact moment it dawned on him how badly Tom and Bert have been treating us over the last few years. And the best part is you can tell this thought genuinely hadn't occurred to him before. That's how deep in the bubble these comedians are. To them, podcasting is just this fun little thing you do with your buddies while the ad money rolls in, and if the fans don't love it, well, they're just haters, right? But now they're face to face with something way more uncomfortable. The idea that the audience stopped caring about Tom and Bert a long time ago, that people have been quietly hate watching this show out of obligation, just waiting for someone to point it out. And once that penny drops, Chrissy and Stavy immediately start spiraling. And it's fucking brilliant. Honestly, the only thing that compares to this is seeing people discover the Fighter and the Kids subreddit for the first time. They go all in on roasting Tom and Bert. They compare them to two deadbeat dads who promised to stick around but ditched their podcast baby the minute Hollywood called. They start talking like it's a full-blown breakup, like they're the new stepdaddies trying to win over a family that's been emotionally abandoned. And it's not even subtle. They say outright, we're just fucking around, and people act like this is the best entertainment they've ever had in their lives. That's not a joke, that's a diagnosis. That's two guys realizing they stumbled into a gig where the only competition was two guys who checked out years ago.
Tom and Bert are sort of like the guy that knocked a lady up in high school.
Right.
Promised they'd be there forever. They changed. Right. They don't treat her well anymore. They're off to Hollywood. Right. And now we're just some guy who pays the bill. We're not doing a good job.
No.
We're just not, I guess, just really bad at it. I don't even understand. They set the bar so nice and low. We're just kind of around, and people act like this is the best entertainment they've ever had in their life. But no, I want to be very clear. This is it. We're not making a podcast. No. We're not. There's something about life is like, these are little surprises. I didn't even expect this to be this fun. No, I really thought this was going to be bullshit. Yeah. And I was just kind of doing it because whatever. Right. Who gives a f? Right. It'll be fun. Let's plug some dates.
I love that we're saying all this and then we leave here and the head of the network is standing there with an immediate guaranteed offer for another 6 and we sign it on the spot with yarmulkes on. Just right away. Full yammies on and we are back for, hey, it's not the Summer Bears, it's the Fall Bears.
Autumn Bears.
Hey, Pumpkin Bears. The first 2 episodes we really tried to make it big and then the last 3 we've been trying to run it into the ground and it's just not working.
Yeah. Well, I think last week's did it.
Yeah, last week's.
I think last week's episode.
This week, if we really just, hopefully, we can really get into the weeds of comedy and vaccines.
The process.
Let's talk seriously about the geopolitical climate. Bring up Mamdani as many times as you can.
Oh, vote Zoran for sure.
Yes,
100%. That is true. Well, we figured last episode, Tom and Bert must have sent some fun videos.
Sure.
They don't give a at all.
They're out.
Didn't even send videos. Couldn't bother. And we saw the production value last time. It was literally just Bert doing this outside. This is really the one where we're like, all right, 52 minutes. This is, because you know what this is? This is, ironically, it's the last day before summer vacation for us. This is our last show.
This is
what are they going to do, fire us?
Seriously.
And just when you think it can't get any more brutal than that, they call Bert. Now, keep in mind, like they were just saying, this is the final Summer Bears episode. You'd think Tom and Bert might have recorded a quick thank you video, maybe a little send-off message to close out the run. Fuck no. Nothing. No video, no message, zero effort. So what do Chrissy and Stavy do? They just cold call Bert mid-episode on speakerphone, and it's everything you'd hope for and more. Bert answers answers the call while taking his blood pressure medication. Like, actually, I'm not even joking. And then launches into this bizarre half-baked bit about what kind of products comedians should be selling. He's pitching it to them like he's on Shark Tank, but every idea is somehow less funny and more cringy than the last one. And don't forget, guys, Bert is one of the top-selling comedians in the world. Never, ever forget that. And so while he's talking, you can feel the energy in the room slowly dying. Chrissy goes quiet. Stavy starts that polite podcast laugh people do when they're trapped in the mothership green room, forced to listen to Rogan ranting about the pandemic and free speech. The contrast between the old bears and the new bears could not be clearer. Then Bert hangs up and Chrissy and Stavy immediately start roasting him. Not behind his back, not passive-aggressively, full-on, this guy doesn't get comedy anymore energy. Like they've been holding this in for weeks and finally had to say it out loud. Guys, we finally did it. We got him.
You know, this is amazing, is that literally it's our last Summer Bears episode, and Tom and Bert didn't even send in videos. They couldn't have cared less.
Don't give a Should we call them?
You want to call them?
Should we just
or see if there's some famous... some of their most famous videos too.
Let's just see. I bet you they're not going to answer.
Yeah.
So just call, see what we got.
What's up?
Bert, what's up, baby? It's me and Stavy. We're live. The very last Summer Bears. We're coming to. We wanted to call you.
Hang on.
Oh.
Taking my blood pressure medicine.
Are you really?
Yeah, losartan and amlodipine.
Oh wow, you got two. Nice.
The cocktail.
Yeah. I like to take care of myself. How's Stavy's weight doing?
Dude, Stavy actually looks good.
You guys killed it this past 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it was. Thank you.
Of course, man.
We're trying to like leave it. We're trying to bomb the last two. You know what I mean?
We thought it'd
Start
be
at
fun.
0.
We thought it'd be fun for you guys to just take it out of. I mean, an even
The
bigger
wreckage.
gaping hole that you left it with us, to us with.
It was like, do you remember that pilot in Seattle, that guy that stole the plane and did a barrel roll?
Yes. The first 4 episodes was us doing little tricks.
You guys are like, hold on, it's still fun. I want to try one more.
Yeah.
My initial instinct, because I like when you guys break down other comics. That's always been fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so my initial instinct was, you know, Tom and I have a vodka, but Joe's diversified himself so much that I think having a vodka is just hack these days, that you need to have a real brand based on the comic. So I was going to have you go through a list of comics and say really what their fans would buy based on who they are.
Okay. What are you, flip-flop? You could sell your own blood pressure medicine. That's the next frontier. Forget about Pfizer. It's Kreischer.
Kreischer vaccines.
You know for a fact that I treat my body the same way LeBron James does.
100%. I know you do.
Mm-hmm. No, that is good. If I can survive, take
and I know
the
that
meds.
your liver's the same color as his skin.
The real challenge is I want you guys to do one podcast with Tom each where he's just dull and gives you no feedback and no energy and doesn't laugh at you anymore because he's dead inside.
Sure.
I love this. We're doing couples counseling.
Yeah.
I watch
Guys on the
Dave and
phone.
Matt do their podcast, and I watch them still laugh at each other, and I go, oh, I remember those days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are like the married couple at an orgy watching the newlyweds just f the shit out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are just trying to jack off each other's limp dicks.
These days is an eye roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Okay, yeah. So,
All right.
All right.
Thank you, bro. Later.
See
Bye.
you, dude.
So if that didn't plummet the ratings, I honestly, if calling Bert, if you're still listening after we just called Bert.
And I believe he called it Bad Ideas.
Yes.
And
Which
it's
is
called Bad Thoughts.
Right. So if you're still listening now, you truly need more mental help than I do. We literally just called Bert and Bert talked about himself for 10 minutes.
It's like, his idea for a bit is like, what could a comic sell?
Yeah,
That's
like,
better than alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about we tell a joke?
Yeah.
How about stand-up comedy is what we
does
sell?
a joke. It's like, yeah, well.
But he will be rich, you know, we'll all
Oh
be.
my God.
When the apocalypse happens, we will be living in one of Bert's 8 tour buses. I'll be like your child's nanny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We'll be living together.
They're paying us from just dividends of Poor Osos. Yeah. They're not even going into their pocket. This is just runoff.
What makes the Bert call so perfect is that it accidentally proves the exact thing they'd been dancing around that whole episode. The old bears are done. They've checked out. Tom's been running on autopilot since his airport meltdown, and Bert can't even show up for 10 minutes without fumbling some half-baked branding pitch and killing the momentum like he's headlining a sleep study. If you needed more proof that Bert has well and truly run out of material, then surely this is it. And credit to Chrissy and Stavy. They don't even try to save him. The second he hangs up, they start clowning on him for being stuck in this narcissistic product-pushing loop, and they're not even being mean, they're just telling the truth. But the fun didn't stop there, because then they started pitching ideas to save the show when the old bears get back from their summer sabbaticals.
They also are asking us, what should Tom and Bert do when they come back? How do they win the audience back and the show? Right?
Or you know what? A game of Russian roulette.
Nice.
Until one of them dies.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that will satiate the fans' bloodlust.
Yeah.
I think they need to watch one of them and just like, and the thing is, you know, Tom, even though he wants to live, he actually wouldn't be like that shaken, and Bert would be like crying. What if Bert shoots part of his brain out and he survives and it just doesn't affect his act?
Yeah. You still just the same thing? That's hilarious.
That is crazy work from Stavy. First the Russian roulette, then shitting on Bert's material. Finally, they're saying out loud what we've all been saying for years. Bert's act hasn't changed in a decade. The only thing evolving is his blood pressure, and the fact they can joke about him getting shot on the head and still finishing a tour without anyone noticing, that's not just a roast. That's a eulogy for Bert's entire career. Like I keep saying, the masks are slipping. We're seeing the people closest to the scene getting fed up. They've watched Bert run the same playbook over and over. Shirt off, personal family secrets, a few stories that never happened, followed by the machine story stretched across 40 fucking cities. And they're finally done pretending it's some kind of art form. But instead of trying to fix it, they lean into it, because at this point there's nothing left to fix, right? And then out of nowhere, Mark Normand rocks up and drops one of the best singers I've heard in a while. I'll never get tired of seeing Bappa catching strays.
Congrats on the last episode.
Look at it.
What is this, baby?
You guys earned it.
Whoa!
San Francisco Chronicle.
That's it.
We got cock eclairs.
Yeah. Look at those.
One for you, one for your ass, and one for your mouth.
That's it, baby. Come on, get in here.
Let's take 5 more minutes. We'll do our contractual hour.
Right.
And then we'll get the fuck out of here. We see how much we give about this show. We just have a countdown the second. And the second it hits 1 hour, we're like, all right.
This is what their fans want. They just want to listen to an hour of just us shitting on them and shitting on the show.
It is weird.
This is what, this is what podcasting's become.
This is like Brett and Schaub's Reddit.
Yeah.
Just shit on him, you know?
It's not an art form. That's the thing to remember. This is not art.
Right.
You know, and we've deluded ourselves into thinking that.
Mark Normand is about to become the subject of Brendan Schaub's next on-air rage-crying meltdown on The Schaub Show on Monday that nobody watches. I don't understand how he's still walking around with all his limbs intact after all the slander he's said to Joe Rogan's face on Protect Our Parks. Bro is the luckiest comedian alive, but now he's caught Bappa's attention, and he's either going to find himself at the end of a raging neck vein C-clamp special or some half-baked lawsuit. Actually, no, that's not right. The lawsuit comes after the cease and desist. And speaking of lawsuits, Stavy just made the exact point the judge made when ruling against Brenda's failed case against the YouTuber who exposed him for cheating on his wife. This is the guy who represented himself with the aid of a lone wolf anonymous ghost lawyer who fed him legal filings and wiped the floor with Brandon's $500,000 monster lawyers. No one knows who he is. He lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike when nobody's looking. Some say he's the assassin's assassin. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking about Stavi's declaration that podcasting is not art. Truer words have never been spoken. If there's one thing Chrissy and Stavi have proven over the last 6 weeks, it's that they're both homeless as fuck and watch all of these videos criticizing Tom and Bert. But stay tuned for the return of the two bears. I can't wait to see how Bert makes up for lost time by taking over every minute of the show to talk about himself or some cringy-ass half-baked idea he had while sitting on a vitamin IV. I honestly don't know how much longer Tom's gonna last. He'll either come back refreshed and ready to get back behind the mic, or even more checked out than he was before. Yeah, I gotta go with option 2 on that one. This is gonna be fun to watch. In the meantime though, make sure you head over to my new channel for more cringe and check out the link in the description to my Patreon for all my latest Kill Tony coverage. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.